I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be what to do when you feel like you're socially awkward. Well, if you got a hard time talking to women and getting women to like you and asking them out, or you just have a problem in general making friends or making good friends because maybe people don't respect you or they don't take you seriously or they just kind of ignore you, this is the video for you. And I've got an email here from a reader who is in that situation. He says he has a hard time making friends and that my stuff is very useful, but he's always had a hard time making friends and friendships that last because people tend to make fun of him and tease him and look down on him and kind of walk all over him. He says, "Hey Corey, thanks for your videos. They are always very helpful and full of lessons. I have a concern for you today. It's not about girls as usual, but about myself and my relationship with other people in general. The problem is I have hit the same walls pretty much all of my life when socializing with my peers, men and women. In the first scenario, we hit it off pretty well, but then our relationship fades away. Most of the time they start making fun of me, they lower their level of respect towards me, and just behave totally indifferent with me. Then I find myself kissing people's ass or being lonely again and simply misunderstood. They would usually like me, I think, but not respect me at all. Then I tend to stay away from them on my own. However, I need friends, and I think everyone does." And I'd say a big part of your problem, just by the reaction that people are having, is that you're showing up into your interactions with other people and you don't think you really got much to offer. You don't think you're of any real high value. And more than likely, you probably hang out with people that you have nothing in common with or people that aren't really interested in your friendship. And you're ignoring those things. It's because you want people to like you, and probably a lot of the time you're seeking other people's approval, especially with kissing other people's ass. Kissing other people's ass, I mean, think about it. In high school, the people that usually ran for class president or class treasurer, not all the time, but I know some of the ones that ran in my class, they were a bunch of fucking douchebags. And they thought they were cool, but they really weren't. I remember, like in high school, one of the guys that was our class president, he was a fucking douchebag. He thought he was the coolest shit since sliced bread, and he was a dork. He was a douchebag. He was a total suck-up and a total kiss-ass. He's the type of guy that would look you in the eye and smile and shake your hand and tell you how great you were and how much he appreciated you. And then 30 seconds later, the dickhead would walk away and he's trashing you behind your back. He's a shallow douchebag, and there's a lot of people like that in this world. And here's what I've learned in my life about friendships, is that people that really care about you, people that really think you're awesome and you're interesting, and you inspire them, or they find you fascinating and they like hanging out with you, those kind of people are rare. And the more successful you become in life, the more money you have, the more prestige you have, or the more power you have that other people perceive you as having, the more you're going to find people showing up, blowing smoke up your ass, telling you how great you are, how awesome you are, how smart you are. And if you don't know any better, you'll start to believe they're bullshit after a while. But you realize is that people who aren't there for your struggles, they always want to be your friend when you're successful. But when you don't have the same level of success, or they don't get any significance, or they don't make any money off of you when they're around you, maybe it's a relationship that developed because of business. Well, once all of those things go away, then you realize, like say you sell your company or whatever, or you move on to a different company, 9 times out of 10, those friendships tend to go by the wayside. And what I've learned over the course of my life is because I've never had a problem making friends. I've always had goals, and I've had ambitions, and I've had dreams, and 99.9% of the time, my goals and my ambitions and my dreams have always been greater than the people I meet in everyday life. And so I act like a leader just because I'm pursuing things that I'm hungry for. And when someone goes, "Oh, that's a stupid fucking idea. You're going to do that for a business? What an idiot you are. You're going to lose all your money." I always have some nice choice responses for them. I don't hang out with dickheads like that. I don't hang out with people that aren't supportive of me. And as I've gotten older, I mean, when I was younger, I had a lot of friends, lots, and literally hundreds of friends. Like I would go out and I would meet people wherever I was, and they all knew me, and we all hung out and did bar talk and all that stupid shit you do when you're drinking, and things of that nature. But as I got older and I went through some challenges in my life, I realized that when you go through challenges in your life or you go through difficult times, your real friends stick with you. They still call you, hey man, how are you? I just want to see how you are. They call when there's really nothing that you can offer them or there's nothing that they can get from you. The only thing that they love about you is you. They appreciate you and your friendship and what you have to offer. And I'd say in your particular case, you're probably making friends with what I like to call fringe friends, or people that aren't really friends with you, but just because maybe you work together or you have similar interests or you're in the same team or part of the same club or part of the same social circle, whatever it happens to be, they hang out. But what I've learned as you get older, it's just, things change. You change jobs, careers change, you change. Some of the interests that you may have had in your 20s, they may change when you get to be in your 30s, and then when you hit your 40s, those interests evolve and change even more. And so as I've gotten older, what I've realized is the amount of real true friends I have, I can count them on one hand. Real, authentic friends that are going to be there through thick and thin, because obviously I've been around for several decades now, and I've realized who was really my friend and who is a fringe friend and who cared about me and who didn't. And that's important. It's great to make friends wherever you go and talk to people, but if you want to get to know people, if you have a hard time making friends with people, asking questions, getting to know them, going, wow, really? No shit. How'd you get into that? Huh, that's fascinating. Tell me more. When you're sincerely interested in what people have to say about themselves, what they do for a living, how they got into their position or how they started that business of theirs, people love to brag about themselves. And when you're talking to people and you're sincerely and authentically interested in what they're bragging about, they naturally are going to think, well, this is a really great guy I'm talking to. You're a pretty awesome conversationalist. And what it really is you simply made them feel significant and important and that they actually had value by being interested in who they were as a person. It's the best way to create rapport. And so my attitude is that I love being by myself when I go out and I'm encountering life. I have great friends, but like if I'm in a new area or I'm traveling and I don't have a girl with me, I love meeting new people wherever I am because I can strike up conversations with anywhere. And that's the attitude you should have. You should not worry so much about creating lasting friendships. You should just worry about improving your social skills by talking to people and asking them questions about themselves. Because when you do that enough and you talk to enough people, people that find you fascinating and find you interesting and who like you and who respect you and who appreciate you, guess what they're going to do? They're going to start asking you questions about yourself and wanting to get to know you. People that start making fun of you or putting you down, fuck them. They're out of here. Don't waste your time hanging out with people like that. Spend your time talking to people who reciprocate, and you got to pay attention to that. And I would say more than likely there's probably a lot of that going on in your life too, where people aren't really engaging you in conversations and they're not really interested in being friends with you. And because you have a little bit of neediness to you, you stick around when you should just move on to the next person. He says, I usually don't seem to make a connection with most people easily. It can be hard to make friends. And I say, ask questions. That's the best thing. You can sincerely get to know other people and ask questions and stop worrying about it. Just like when I talk about you don't focus on a relationship or relationship labels or being boyfriend, girlfriend or any of that shit with women. You let them bring that up. Same thing with friendship. If you're hanging out with somebody and you really enjoy chatting with them and you find them interesting, you say, hey, I'm going to be at such and such place. Find out what they're doing and go hang out with them. And if they like you, they're going to be asking you questions about yourself. And so if people aren't asking you questions about you, then guess what? It means that they're not really interested in who you are. And you should recognize that and you should understand that and you should simply move on to other groups of people when the conversation gets dull and boring. You don't need people to hang out with. You can go and make friends wherever you are. He says, I don't know what it is with me, but I'd like to hear your take on that. And I would say it's because you're spending your time talking to people who have no interest in you. And I remember some of the emails you sent me in the past. And when it comes to women, you tend to chase and pursue women who have no interest in you. And even when they've told you they have no interest, you still stick around trying to make something out of nothing. And so I would say the biggest thing that you're doing is you're simply not interacting with enough people. You're not focused on asking them questions. the problem is you're focused on your outcome, getting phone numbers, getting people to like you, as opposed to just hanging out, talking, chatting, getting to know people. And if the conversation is a little boring or they're really not trying very hard to answer your questions and engage you in conversation, you can simply say, hey, it was nice chatting with you. I'll talk to you. You guys have a great night. You have a great day. You have a great evening, whatever it happens to be. And you just move on to the next group of people. That's what you need to do. You need to stop sitting around talking to people and trying to convince them or kissing their ass. Like, you're just completely fucking wasting your time. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website and click the Contact Me tab, which is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, or your challenges, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet. And I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient, and I will get back to you. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by clicking the Products tab, which is going to be on any page on my website, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a copy of the Amazon Kindle version of my ebook, go to my website, and underneath the email sign-up box, click the link to Amazon.com and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.